Alright, so I'm going to be showing how to open up and disassemble this Acer Nitro 5. So this laptop is having battery issues, so we're going to be replacing the battery, but let's go ahead and just take a quick look for a thumbnail here. Okay, the customer took off the palm rest thing and stuck it to the bottom actually. You can see that this is usually on the palm rest. Okay. But anyways, I believe we're going to be using a PH1 or JAS1 screwdriver to remove the screws from the bottom. It looks like some screws are actually missing. This is a Nitro 5. They do say model number here, N20C1, but that's not the actual model number. The model number is over here. Okay, and this is an AN515-57-74TT. Okay, again, we're going to remove all the screws from the bottom, again, using a PH1 or JS1 screwdriver. You want to keep the screws in order because they can be different size, shape, and lengths. The way I do that is I put them flat side down like that on my desk in the pattern I remove them. So we got 3 towards the back here, 3 along the middle, then we got another one right here, okay? And then we got 4 along the front. So let's go ahead and remove all those screws. Okay, again, some are missing. If this video helps you out, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. And if it helps you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. If you can't help out that way, it would help a lot if you could watch a few of my other videos and then like and comment on those as well, because that's what the algorithm likes to see. I also have another channel called It's Been Reviewed and More. Same profile picture, but zoomed in because it's a close look at things. Currently, those videos are on this channel as well, but in the future, the reviews will only be posted to that channel. So if you really like my review videos or you just want to help out a lot, yeah, it'd be really helpful if you could subscribe there. Anyways, now that we got all the screws out, again, these two screws were missing. So make sure you remove those on yours. Okay, after you do that, you see these little triangle things. You get your fingers at the vent area, and then you just pull up like this, okay? So just like that, and you can see it easily pops out, and then you just pull the whole thing out. And there you go. Bottom cover actually comes up super easy on this model with that trick. So when I first took one of those apart, it was actually very difficult, and then I actually had a viewer that mentioned that pulling at those spots would help, and I was like, what, really? So I tried it and I was like, wow, it actually comes out super easy. Okay, so there's always new things to learn, and if you want to learn how to take apart a whole bunch of computers, just watch several of my videos, and yeah, I think if you watch like 2 or 3 of them, you'll be able to get apart like 80-90% of computers. Anyways, this is what the inside looks like. So I've taken apart a few Acer Nitro 5s before. So they're very similar. Maybe this one just has more hardware in it. You can see there's 2 slots for RAM. Okay, this RAM is a DDR4 3200 stick. I don't know if the customer upgraded it or if it came with that, but you should be okay with any DDR4 3200 RAM. Okay, as long as it's the laptop type. You got 2 M.2 PCIe NVMe slots here. I'm not going to be popping stuff out just because it's unnecessary. The customer just needed me to replace the battery. So we got 2 M.2 PCIe NVMe SSDs. If you want to know how to remove these, I do have other videos where I actually take these parts out. RAM, you pull these 2 tabs to the side. SSD, take 1 screw out. It pulls up slightly so it goes up at an angle, and then you can wiggle and pull it out. Wireless card is here. You go from the tails of the connectors, you just pull up and it'll pop those off. It's easier to pop them off while the screw is in, but once you do that, take the screw out, it pops up slightly and then pulls out just like the M.2 SSDs. You got a 2.5-inch SATA hard drive here, 4 screws holding the hard drive in with this caddy. If you're going to swap it to another 2.5-inch SATA hard drive or SSD, you do want to remove this bracket. There's 2 screws on this side and 2 screws on the other side that hold the metal bracket to the drive itself. You'll want to transfer that over. The SATA connector, I usually just use my fingernail on this piece and pull it out, usually from the other side. But since, I'm not going to be removing this, I'm not going to show that, but I do have other videos, again, showing how to remove these kinds of things. The flip latch for the hard drive connector is here. You flip that and you can pull that out. If you're going to be doing anything crazy inside, usually I don't need to worry about the battery if we're doing just the RAM, the SSDs, or the hard drive. But if you're going to be messing with like the screen cable and stuff like that, I would highly recommend removing the battery connector here and then pressing and holding the power button for at least 15 seconds to drain any residual power. Okay. Hard drive and SSD and RAM, you don't really need to worry about that. But if you're clumsy and you feel like you might drop something here, then you can disconnect the battery just to be safe. All right, you got a speaker connector here. You would grab the wings of that little connector and wiggle to pull it out. Again, the other speaker connector, same thing over here. Make sure that you don't flip the connector around. If you get a new speaker or if you're putting it back, make sure you didn't accidentally twist this to flip it. They actually put a little mark on there with a marker to tell you which side should be face up. Okay. You got the CMOS BIOS RTC real-time clock battery here, which I believe is under the battery, so we'll see that soon. You got the keyboard backlight connector, flip latch over here, then you can pull the cable out. I'm pretty sure there's a touchpad connector, flip latch here. We'll see when we take the battery out, but yeah, let's go ahead and actually take that out so we can see better. They do put a little bit of tape there, so it's kind of annoying, but yeah. All right, anyways, we're gonna go ahead and peel this off. I don't know if they always put a tab here to make it easy to peel out. I'm doubting they do, so keep that in mind. You're probably gonna have to work at peeling this thing up. Okay, next we have the battery connector here. Again, I'm gonna just use my fingernails at the wings and just wiggle it like this, and it should eventually walk its way out just like that. All right, and again, you can see they put a dot there so you know which side is face up, but the black wires go towards the RAM, red wires go towards the outside of the laptop. So if you get a new battery, make sure you don't flip it upside down. You can also see the exposed pins on the bottom. So that's not always the same. Sometimes some computers, they have the exposed pins face up, so don't use that as a method to determine which side is up and down. All right, so I have a bunch of stuff on my desk, so I can't really center this to push it over there. So you're gonna have to see from a little bit further out. There's two screws holding the battery in, one in this bottom left corner and the other one in the top right corner. So we'll take both screws out. Okay. Again, if you're gonna do anything more deep disassembly, you'll want to actually, after disconnecting this, open the laptop and press and hold the power button for at least 15 seconds. All right, anyways, so this thing, you kind of have to rotate the battery a little. There are raised bumps here that hold the little battery screw mounts in place, so you can see how if I pull it, it's kind of wiggling, and that's because this little foot here and this are kind of holding it. So lift one side and then swing it. You can either swing this side, you can see now this came out, or you can lift this side up and swing this side out. Do one or the other first, then lift the other, and then rotate it the other way, okay? And there we go, there's the battery removed. So we'll set that aside. All right, so again, yes, that is the keyboard connector right there. So this is the touchpad, trackpad, as I mentioned. Again, flip latch is here, so you flip that up and then you can pull the cable out. I'm gonna push that back down. This one, it's weird because the cable's kind of coming up a little bit. So I'm kind of, I don't know, this thing could actually, it's lifting the tab up, but that's how it was designed. So it's kind of weird though. I feel the touchpad, if you're not careful, could pop out and then it won't get, like the touchpad will stop working. If yours isn't working, double check that connector. Also, there's the connector to the touchpad here, flip latch on this side. Sometimes if the battery inflates, it can kind of pull on these, the keyboard connectors and stuff like that. So if for some reason your keyboard's not working, or this isn't, the touchpad's not working, or this thing up here, I'm not sure what that is. That might be the thing that detects if the screen opens and closes. If for some reason those things aren't working, double check if your battery's swelling up and inflated, because that could be the issue. If you leave your computer plugged in all the time, most of the likely your battery's going to get inflated. You don't want to actually leave your computer plugged in if it's just shut down and not doing anything, okay? You got the CMOS BIOS RTC real-time clock battery here. It's a CR2032, but it's in this little sleeve thing. The red wire is going towards the hard drive and the black wire is going towards the middle of the laptop, the keyboard backlight. So if you replace this battery, make sure you don't flip this upside down. If you get a replacement battery and the connector itself is flipped upside down, like they put these wires in the wrong holes, you can actually pop these little pins out. So if you look at this here, okay, in this little portion, you can use like a small needle, and this little white plastic part, these two tabs, you can lift it slightly and you can pull it out. Basically, the metal thing for this battery is inside. It's kind of has a little thing that sticks up. So in the hole, it has, the plastic has a thing that it hits here. So basically, the little white plastic tab it sticks out like this, and then the metal thing has a little thing that sticks up. So when you try and pull it, it hits that. So basically, to get it out, you lift the white tab up, and then you can slide that thing out, okay? That's how you would remove that. That's just some extra tip that I don't know if it will help somebody, but hopefully it will, because I've had that happen at least once, but it's pretty rare, especially if you're buying the CMOS batteries specifically for the computer. But it's a chance, it's a possibility. Okay, so you have this little connector here, flip latch on this side, flip latch on this side. Again, I'm not too sure what this is for. It says JHS1, which I'm assuming is like the screen closing sensor kind of thing, so it knows when the screen closes, but I'm not 100% sure. All right, for this, you do have to take the SSD out, but there's a flip latch on this side and the flip latch on this side. If you want to remove for the 2 USB ports, the headphone jack or 3.5 millimeter, what do you call it, auxiliary port, and then the Ethernet port or whatever you want to call that. All right, then you have, pretty sure this is for the LCD LVDS connector. This has wings where you kind of wiggle. Again, you pull and you just kind of wiggle, 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 and it should come out. There's a little cable here underneath the SSD, which I can't really tell where that's, oh, interesting. So this USB board actually has this connect cable here, and then it has one of this cable, which is like a mini version of like the battery connector, or like it's a bigger version of this. Basically, you grab the wings and wiggle to pull that out. Okay. CPU's under here, soldered to the motherboard. GPU's under here, soldered to the motherboard. If you're wondering how I know, usually the GPU will have like the VRAM and stuff here all around, as well as, I don't know what these little square things are called and stuff like that. They'll put some thermal pads or thermal putty on it, and yeah, usually that will all surround the GPU. So yeah, they're both soldered to the motherboard. So if you do lift the heatsink off, keep in mind you are going to have to reapply thermal paste. If it uses putty, you're probably going to have to reapply that as well, but it does look like thermal pads, those pink pads. The way you can tell it's putty is the stuff coming out is like very square, like cut. So yeah, putty, it will turn like a ooze and it will be more like a round blob. So obviously, if I didn't mention, there's a fan connector here and a fan connector here as well. Okay, and I think that's about it to point out inside this computer without tearing things apart even more. So let's go ahead now and put the new battery in. Also, the charge port is soldered there, so it's not one that you can just pop out. So keep that in mind if for some reason you need to replace that. Okay, so the battery, we're gonna make sure this tape is out of the way, and we're gonna plop this back in. So again, it does have these little feet, and also you don't just plop the battery all the way in. You can see if I try, it hits a wall. So you do have to lift it slightly, and then it goes within a little notch in there. Okay, so once you get it in that notch, you'll wanna line up, you'll twist it slightly over, and then we'll kind of push this down and get this top one into that notch, and then it should fall into place. So you can test it by trying to lift up this corner or this corner, and you'll see it's kind of holding itself in place. So that's how you know it's good. We'll go ahead now and get the screws back in. Okay, there's only 2 screws. Actually, this is going to make it difficult to put the connector back in. So let me lift this. We're going to push this and pull this out slightly. Okay, so you can see, if you want, you can leave this screw in, but I'm going to actually take the thing out because it'll be easier to put the connector in if we have the battery not seated in right now. So we can move this back. Again, make sure you don't put the battery in backwards. So you do want to look at the old battery. Where did I toss it? I have too many old batteries here. Okay. So again, you want to look at the old battery. They do put a mark on this one as well. But again, black wires go towards the center. Red wires are going towards the outside. And we'll go ahead and line that up and plug that in. You do want to make sure to plug the connector in straight. Don't go in at an angle, because otherwise you can bend the pins inside there. So what you do, since this cable is so long, you can actually have the battery further away. I know you can't see it now, but just line this up. Okay, make sure it's going in again straight, not at an angle. And then I like to use both fingers like this, or both hands, and then pinch the connector in. Okay, you can see it's kind of going at an angle. You do not want that, so make sure to straighten it out and then try and get it to go in straight. If you can't, pull a tiny bit on each side, a little at a time, and slowly work your way in, same as how when we wiggle it to pull it out, okay? Very important. You don't want it to go, again, at an angle. That's not good, okay? So now that we got that all in, we're going to go ahead and line this up. The easiest way to make sure is to pull this cable up out of the way, and then we're going to go ahead and get this back in. So again, get that in the notch, rotate this, get this in the notch, line that up, okay? And then we'll go ahead and get the screw. So you can see the cable right now is up, sticking up in the air. That's fine. We're going to go ahead and put it down and line it up afterwards, okay? All right, so now that we got that, so basically all this excess, we kind of have to bend the wiring over. So just kind of move it out of the way like this, okay? And then we'll just tape this down just like that. So there we go. We got the battery connector in. It doesn't need to be flush into this hole, and actually you don't want to do that because then it might push on the wire under there. So that's pretty much it to get the battery in. Very simple. Now we're just going to get the bottom cover back on, and that's all there is to this. All right, so we're just going to do the opposite. Last time we pulled this side up, so we're going to start with this side first now, the back or the bottom or the front, whatever you want to call it. All right, so push that down, make sure it clips in, then go around the sides and go all the way up. And that's pretty much it. We just got to get all the screws back in. You do want to make sure that all the clips look good. One thing you want to also do is shake it, make sure nothing's rattling in there. You don't want any loose, broken plastic pieces or anything if you happen to accidentally damage it. All right, everything looks good. Yep, you can see no rattling. So we're good to go. We'll go ahead and get all the screws back in, and that's pretty much it. Again, hopefully this video helped you guys out. If it did, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their device as well. Excuse me. And again, if it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. Right? Again, if you can't help out that way, it would help a lot if you could watch a few of my other videos and then like and comment on those as well, because that's what the algorithm likes to see. I also have another channel, again, called It's Been Reviewed and More. Same profile picture, but zoomed in because it's a close look at things. I am currently, again, posting those videos on this channel as well. But once that channel grows big enough to stand on its own, I will just be posting the review videos to that channel. So if you like my review videos and you don't want to lose or miss out on the new uploads when I stop posting them here, make sure to subscribe to that one and turn on the bell. If you just want to help me out but you don't really care about my review videos, it would still help if you could subscribe there. But you can turn off all the notifications, turn off the bell thing. And that'll really help me out because that one I need to get to at least 1,000 subscribers, which is taking some time. And right now at this rate, I think it's going to take probably another 2 years or so, but we'll see. Sometimes it just jumps up, so you never know. Anyways, we'll flip this over, we'll power it on, and hopefully it's good to go. The battery, to calibrate, they do tell you to charge it all the way to 100%, keep it at 100% for 2 hours, and then you can go ahead and shut it off. You can see it's already turning on, so we should be good to go. But, sorry, charge it to 100%, leave it charging for 2 hours, and then after that it says you're okay to unplug it and drain it all the way till the computer shuts itself off, and then just charge it and use it like normal. That's kind of just to tell the computer where the 0% is, so it can calibrate itself. But other than that, that's pretty much it. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Let's drop this. Bye.